Hey guys, this is Aaron Jimenez, and I am super excited about today's topic. I'm looking forward to just diving in and discussing this with you guys. It's just something that's been on my mind for quite some time now, and so I'm glad that I finally am able to really just get it out there and share it with you guys today. So today we're going to be talking about an article that came out, and it's titled "The Dark Side of Reality Television." And you know, there was a time in my life when my wife, it was all my wife, was stuck on RHONJ. For those of you that don't know, that's Real Housewives of New Jersey. And we watched it together. I'll just be honest. We did watch it together. I'll be a little bit more honest. I watched it, and my wife sat next to me while I watched it. And it was really very interesting to me, especially as a therapist, especially as somebody who is devoted, I've devoted my life to helping people maneuver and work through their behavioral, emotional health. And yet here we are watching a television show about people who seemingly have it all together, who have what a lot of us, I should say, what a lot of us would consider they have it all, right? They have money. Most of them have functioning relationships for the most part. They have relationships with their children. It seems like they're doing very well. However, the craziest things set them off. And I never really fully understood how that works. And so we were out this week, and we don't have cable at our home. So whenever we're out at a on a vacation spot or at a motel or hotel, we always turn on the television and just kind of see what's happening with the rest of the world, I guess. And so we put on Real Housewives of Somewhere, and by the way, this is not a knock to any of the Real Housewives shows. That's just the one we happen to turn on, and it's crazy to me because I remember when we stopped watching it, they were fighting and bickering and arguing about what somebody did or what they did not do, and we turned it on years later. And they're still sitting there on a couch with somebody across from somebody or next to somebody going, I get that we're friends and I love you, but you didn't talk to me when you walked past me 6 seasons ago. And that really hurts. And the crazy thing about this is, if it's just television, whatever. The crazy thing about this is that, it's supposed to be reality television, which of course we all know that there's now stories out that some of it's scripted, most of it's scripted, who knows? So I'm just going to take it at face value that it is reality television. It is people who are living their lives with a camera crew around them. So here's the interesting thing. If it's just people who are living their lives with a camera crew watching, how crazy is it that they're so worked up over emotions? And so, so many people watch these shows and we almost feel entitled, or we almost feel like, okay, this is normal living, right? When somebody says something to me that offends me, it's normal to just be angry with them and hold it in. And even better, what's normal is to not talk to the party that's offended you, rather, but talk to other people about that. And then, 4 seasons later, we finally address it, or, at the end of the season or the season wrap up, whatever. And then they're able to sometimes work through it. So here's the interesting thing. How crazy is it that their emotional health is so out of sorts, right? And so there was an article that was written quite a few years back. And I'm new to all this, just so you know, so I'm hoping that I'm going to use the correct language. Even though I'm a therapist and I believe in using language for its exact purpose, I will use this phrase throughout the rest of this discussion. So is after a Real Housewives husband unalived themselves. And so the question was asked: is the limelight too much? Is it just too much? The fame, the fortune, the publicity, is it just too much? And so there was a great article written, and in it there was an individual who's a retired talent coordinator, a retired talent. He would look for talent. And he had a very, very interesting take on this. And he said, honestly, I'm going to quote him because I don't want to get this incorrect. It's no coincidence that reality show producers are. What he says here is many individuals who may be otherwise be considered volatile and are perhaps mentally unstable are often bubbled to the top of casting lists because of their potential to drive ratings, end quote. So what this individual, Alec Shankman, said was, what he was saying is that talent coordinators specifically look for emotionally unstable individuals for reality television. Now, here's the difficult part. That changes it all up, because essentially what they're doing is they are looking for emotionally unstable, which, if you believe that mental health is a choice, that people can just choose to not struggle with mental health, then they're looking for people who are choosing to be out of control. However, if you believe that mental health is a medical issue, all right, it is a chemical imbalance, then what they're looking for are individuals whose chemicals are imbalanced, right? What they're looking for are individuals who are what I refer to as unmedicated and undiagnosed. What they're looking for are people who are willing to allow their mental health to consume them in such a negative way that it drives ratings for the television show. So this is an interesting dynamic when we sit down to watch these television shows, because essentially, unfortunately, if this is true, what we're watching is somebody who is who's struggling with their mental health, and we're sticking a camera in their face. And we're sticking a microphone in them, and we're giving them all this time. And we're essentially telling them, you know what? Be as unstable as you need to be, honestly, right? Because the more unstable you are, the better the ratings are, and better ratings equals more money, right? So what Hollywood is telling these individuals is be unstable and we will pay you more money, right? The moment somebody starts to get a little bit more stable, most of the time they're asked to leave the show, right? There are individuals, and you can see it if you've ever look for patterns, you can see that there are individuals who are a little bit more quiet, who maybe get along with everybody, and they're booted off pretty quickly. Right? Maybe they only get 1 or 2 or 3 seasons in, and then it's like they're moving on. But so-and-so over there who was out of their mind because somebody looked at them for too long, or somebody did not look at them for long enough. It's a very strange window. Let's bring them back, right? They seem much more unstable than they did a couple years ago. So now is the perfect time to bring them back, put them back in the show, right? So it's just an interesting dynamic to think about. It's unfortunate. As a mental health therapist, as a clinician, there is a television show that I just simply cannot watch, and I won't name it because again I'm not sure about all the rules. But it is a show in which somebody's struggling with holding on to too much stuff, and so they bring the family members in, they bring a therapist in, and they basically say it's the stuff or us. And I've seen individuals in the show ripping things out of people's hands, and they're holding on to it, and it's a piece of garbage, and they're holding on to it for dear life, and they're going, man, this is all I have. And we're watching, oh man, they're crazy, they are a mess, and thank goodness my house doesn't look like that, right? So we're sitting there being entertained, and this poor individual who, through trauma, through mental health, through whatever it might be, this one thing that is keeping them alive, we are ripping away from them for ratings, right? I know for me, my go-to when I'm having a rough day is my family, right? If I'm having a difficult day, if I'm just exhausted, if I'm not feeling it, if my ADHD has me so off that I've started 18 different things and I'm so frustrated with myself because none of them are getting finished, I seek refuge with my family. That calms my mind, that calms my emotions. And there are times when that is enough. And if I were to need that, and somebody sticks a camera in my face and says, no, you don't get a family anymore. Your family, the way you cope with life, is now gone. And in fact, if you freak out about it, then we're going to call you names, we're going to label you all these things, and so I just as a mental health clinician who understands mental health disorders, I just simply cannot watch that television show any longer, just because it breaks my heart to see a group of people ripping items out of people's hands when it's the only thing they have left to hold on to. So it's kind of interesting. For the first time watching this Real Housewives show, I asked my wife, I said, man, can we change that? Are we good to change that? Because it was heartbreaking. Because again, if it's not scripted, right? If it's just them in the moment, and I get that there's different levels of scripting, right? There's probably like, okay, now we're going to go into the living room, so everybody move in the living room, and let's have a discussion there. But if they're having a real conversation, I mean, when you think about it, they're heartbreaking. To watch people experience all this hurt and betrayal and all the all of this when somebody's trying to convince them of something that they just know that's not true, or worse yet, when somebody's telling them that the emotions that they're feeling are not real. Right? The emotions that they're feeling are not real, and so they should just forget about them and just stop feeling that way. Goodness gracious. I mean, most of us were raised that way, honestly. When we told our parents we had something was off, or we weren't feeling well, or we weren't, something was off, they would tell us just stop feeling that way. So it's difficult now for me to watch any of these television shows, just because they're human beings who are just trying to navigate their way through this life. And they're so overwhelmed with hurt and emotion. And it's heartbreaking to watch it. All for ratings. So that was just kind of, it's been on my mind to talk about it a little bit today, and just understand, because I mean, we could even do a little deeper dive into the psychology of celebrities, and honestly, what does it take to take on another persona, right? Because that is the idea of what makes a good actor or actress, is, do we believe that they are that individual? Well, we know they're not, because it's Tom Cruise, right? And we know Tom Cruise, we know a lot about his personal life, we know about his relationships, but in that moment we're going, okay, maybe he was in World War II, right? Maybe he was. He did that so well. I didn't know he was the second president of the United States of America. That's crazy, because he does it so well. And so we could even do a deeper dive at some point, and please let me know if anyone's interested out there, of doing a deeper dive into what it takes, what it does to the psyche, and what we have to do to our psyche to be able to put ourselves fully in another role, right? Because most of us have this role that we are now, and we decide, if we're going to kind of move in that direction, if we're going to move in this direction. I don't think any of us truly understand what it means to fully become a totally different individual for 6 months, right? So let me know if you're interested in a more of a deep dive of that. But reality television, it's unfortunate, and I'm glad that this individual, Mr. Alex Shankman, of course, it states here that he's a former reality star talent agent, which means he is able to speak more freely, right? Since he's kind of out of the game now. Because when he's in it, you can't talk crap about your about your business, right? You can't. I mean, we all know what happened to Jerry Maguire, right? So when he was in it, he was playing the game, doing what he did. Now that he's out, he can kind of lift the veil and show us and state, no, we actually look for people who are volatile and mentally unstable for better ratings. So just some thoughts, So guys, just let me know if you're interested in any more of these discussions. I love this stuff. This stuff has always been interesting to me. So hopefully it's interesting to you. So please don't forget to subscribe. I'm going for it now. I'm going to start doing some videos. And so I'd love for you to be notified when new videos pop up. So please subscribe. And I look forward to talking to you all again soon. Feel free to leave a comment. If I can, I'll comment on your comment. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great day.